Well, it's technically not GTA, but another game. But it's still pretty close, and you will love it. Just watch the video. The Gangstar games for Java marked my childhood. Since the first game, Gangstar Crime City, I fell in love with this series. Before Crime City starts, you get the loading screen message which already tells you that the game is going to be something. The story you're about to witness is a modern tale of human survival. It brings the question of society and the place of the less fortunate. And then they added the classic, any act represented in this game should not be reproduced. The Gangstar games are a dream come true for Java. I am going to talk about them in general first, and only after that get into the specific thing that makes each one unique. First off, let me tell you how many there are. So we have Gangstar Crime City, Gangstar 2 Kings of LA, Gangstar 3 Miami Vindication, Gangstar Rio City of Saints, and there is also a fifth one, but that game I'm going to present you separately as it has a different gameplay. That game is called Gangstar City. Okay, now let's dive into the general review of the Gangstar games. The first four ones I've listed. First thing to say, which makes these games 10 out of 10, is the fact that these games have free roam, and that is eye-watering cool. And you have the classic Grand Theft Auto things we all love, like stealing cars, shooting guns, interesting missions, good story, and more. The graphics are very good for a Java game, and alongside the gameplay, they make a monster combo. The controls are responsive, but there is still a small downside to the driving and some of the on-foot action. Because the map is more of a 2D one that tries to be 3D, the car controls might feel clunky at times because of your own fault, not realizing every time which way to steer or how to steer properly. Also, some objects might give you the impression that you can pass, but in reality they are solid barriers. These are just small details and don't take the immense fun these games provide. Okay, now some words about each game in particular. Gangstar City was the game I played the most out of them all, because my first phone that could handle Java games was kind of weak, so it couldn't handle big games that appeared later on like Gangstar Rio. It could only run Crime City and Kings of LA. Only later on, when I've got a new phone, I played the others too. Anyway, for me as a kid, I was amazed by how similar it was to Grand Theft Auto, because of the similar free roam. I liked the fact that you had unlimited ammo in your handgun. It had quite a nice handful of cars, including normal commute cars, supercars, SUVs, and also the police has helicopters. You cannot fly them, but it is still a nice thing that they exist in the game. You get also a handful of weapons to choose from, and the game also has over 60 playable missions. I deeply recommend you the game, along the other three. In Gangstar 2 Kings of LA, you can see multiple improvements from the first one. You have more angles to move, which makes the game more fluid, the animations are slightly better and they are more numerous. The environment is noticeably improved. The city is twice as large and the weather effects look way better than in the previous game. Also, now the city feels more varied with different looking locations. In the previous one, the city felt a little monotonous. Now the city feels bigger and more varied with different locations such as the Mexican border, Hollywood, Beverly Hills, downtown, the suburbs, the coast harbor, and prison. The movement options are improved at different levels. Like jumping on the roofs, dock lifts. You also get crane controls, and so on. There are more vehicles than in the first one, and a new type of vehicle was added, the motorbike. You now have bikes in the game too. And the minimap is also better and more clear. Also, there are over 30 playable missions in the game. Gangstar 3 Miami Vindication is even bigger and more divergent. You not only get more cars, but you get water skiing too, quad bikes, and you can fly helicopters. You can swim, and the animations are more numerous. The effects look better, you get more weapons, and the armament you get to buy is denser. Like for example, you can get rocket launchers to your aid of destroying everything that stands in your path. Gangstar Rio is even more extreme than the other ones. It has more explosions, more variety in levels, more animations. The map is also big for you to roam free. You have beaches, jungles, favelas district with poor houses. You have the housing project part of the map that also has poor houses. You get an industrial area and a business district, and you also get islands, which contains a battleship, a military base, and a church. There is one repeatable mission in the battleship. You can see that this game is even more improved than the previous ones. The last one on this list, Gangstar City, is not like the other ones. You don't have free roam anymore, not even linear gameplay. It is of a different sort. This game is a strategy game. You have to build your empire of businesses, but the gangster mindset is still present in this game too. For example, you get the option to extract, still, money from buildings. You can also hack into police stations to extract money from there too, bribe, and many more. If you are into strategy games of this sort, you should try out the game. Maybe it's the one for you. Okay, so these were the gangster games for Java. I deeply recommend you the games. They are one of the all-time best Java games out there. A dream come true.